permitted. Of course, it was all tied in the beginning to medical uses, and it's understandable. I don't have any quarrel with that. They're building an incredible hospital up here that they don't want competed with, but naturally they put in these restrictions, which any business would do, and covenants and restrictions in the deed, which, although obviously they're not our zoning, they exist and they'll be there for a period of time. So as we went forward, and we're allowing, okay, so we weren't going to limit it just, and we've gone over this, but just because Kristen's here, we've all spoken to this when she wasn't here the last few times. So we allow indoor recreational facilities. Well, we have one on 17M that's been defunct, that's now being resurrected. We have a lot of those around. We open it up to regular commercial office space. Well, everybody knows in this village, and all of us have said that over the last couple of weeks, you can't give away commercial office space in this village right now, and probably not for some period of time. So we're all looking for some way maybe to expand it even a little further. And, I'm open to a lot of the suggestions that are made here just to try to explore that, because what we're really looking at, I think, as we all look at it, is you're having a piece of property that's going to be unmarketable. It's not going to create ratables if it just sits there fallow. And, I've heard, I understand the concerns too about competition and everything, but I've been living in this village for 62 years. Who in their right mind would have ever thought we would have had this many pizza parlors that are all viable? I mean, the market does seem to move forward in areas that kind of surprise you at times.
It's because of all the lawyers.
All the lawyers eat
Eating
pizza. But anyway, I would be really open to some other ways to try to get, again, as Kyle has said, more labels.
I guess my concern with the retail, would it be another small business opening up over there, but something like a Walmart that could undercut everyone's prices? And
I am not in favor of retail over there. I have to tell you, I see that. I watched it happen to Middletown. We watched it happen to city and village centers all over the county, and I think there were other ways for us to open it up without spreading out the retail.
But I don't know if I'm permitted to speak.
Yes,
but I would have to say that if you're worried about keeping a vibrant downtown, you guys are talking about the wrong thing. You need to put parking downtown. There's no reason, you can't find a parking space even though half of our places are vacant. We need to come up with a way that we can, as a municipality, support a parking program so that we can create a vibrant village.
I tried that, Paul, and there was great resentment on the part of the people who were the businesses because they did not want to pay an additional fee to help. We were trying to mount that up into getting an amount of money that was going to allow us to have the money to invest. Therefore, we expanded the parking behind the bank and expanded the parking all the way down to the DPW garage, and there is parking there 99% of the time. People just want to park in front of the store. And that's a difficulty because there are spaces
But there are other areas. I don't know, there's a contaminated piece of property there with Lloyd's. I don't know what the situation is with that. But
it's still a Barron's property.
But there are other pieces that I think that owners would probably sell for reasonable prices, given the economy now, nothing going on. It might be the time.
You're right.
To actually buy a small piece of property to put some parking downtown. It seems like that is what happened to Middletown. Is it just there was. People went outside to build the commercial because there wasn't enough reason to hold it inside.
We're always looking for parking, Paul. It's just at a commodity in the center of the village. As Marcy said, we have it, but people don't want to park by there and walk, In the center of the village, there's just so much space.
Hey, maybe my place would make a great parking.
But then where will people...
Donating it to the village?
I would say that when I was on the board the first time around, the chamber came here on a number of occasions to discuss this with it. I would strongly suggest that the idea of a parking garage, which Marcia, her hair stands up on end when you talk about that, But I have to say that in my, guys, as an attorney, I'm up and down the Hudson Valley everywhere, and everywhere else I go has a parking garage. I know they're not pretty, but,
But they don't have to be ugly.
Right. You go to most of the cities around here, and they have parking garages, or else they have huge expanses where there were buildings that were torn down. The only difference is if you go to Poughkeepsie or somewhere like that, it's a lot bigger place. So
I think when you think of parking garage, you think of like an 18-story building.
Right.
I think, 2 or 3 stories, especially with topography, there are some areas that you could do that, right next to the post office.
I always thought about that.
That's always a perfect place for.
I always
They
thought
won't
about
sell it. We tried to do that on many occasions.
That would be a perfect location.
Because it's
something like
right.
And it's right there.
Right, forever.
They were not, the family has never been interested in that.
Yeah,
Maybe times have changed, and it's time to call them again.
Has anybody seen the parking garages in Hoboken over on, I think it's Hudson Street?
Yes. My son.
Yeah, those are not huge.
They're in a city, Joel.
Yes.
They're in a city.
Well,
Scale is
Hoboken's
different.
hardly a big city. It's more like neighborhoods. Just to follow up on what Trustee Stewart said, it does raise concerns for me, and I'm curious whether there's unanimity on the board with regard to protecting the downtown businesses. Before the meeting, we were talking, and I think I've said it here any number of times. I just don't think municipal boards should be in the business of choosing who may or may not compete. And if somebody wants to compete with the downtown businesses from another location, and they do well, they'll do well. And if they don't, they'll go out of business. I don't see it's your job as a municipal board to protect the businesses in the core village.
I do, and I think, Joel, that we've had this conversation repeatedly. You don't
Yes.
believe in zoning.
No, I do believe in zoning. Don't, please, you don't like me stating your position.
This is
mine.
not the purpose of this, to get into an argument about.
And I'm trying not to.
Excuse me, Joe, people's opinions. Let's just, we're here to see what kind of zoning we want up at the hospital. Let's keep it on that.
And following on that, with what was said before about the residential and light industrial use, I assume that you're all aware that when it finally happens, the state plans to redesign that interchange, that exit, so it will not be as it is now
125.
on the Arden Hill side, yeah. That will probably get more redesigned than any of the other exits from my several discussions with Scott Geiger.
Is one of the options removed completely?
No, what they plan to do, Paul, is close down 125 on the east side by the office buildings there. And then, and I don't particularly understand this, but apparently they're planning on sliding the
Okay.
on-ramps down towards South Street.
This is again off the subject. Please, I'll discuss
We got it.
discuss it later.
It might affect what.
It definitely might,
Are
but
you-
we don't know for a fact which way they're gonna go, and it's gonna change 400 times, so we can't set our zoning on what could or could not happen.
Well, we're not voting tonight, we're having Kristen.
Yeah.
They're gonna do a little research, give us some ideas.
All right, so Kristen, we're looking for something in light industry. Are we looking for some, and this is just to get a sense of the board, some possible retail there? I'm sure, my own self, just to speak for myself, I'd like some limited retail, but if somebody said I was gonna build a supermarket there tomorrow, I'd like to see it permissible.
Sure.
I wouldn't, the rest of the retail, I don't know, but if they're gonna, if somebody come in tomorrow and this is to say, I wanna build a supermarket there, I don't want us to be rushing around trying to straighten out the zoning for retail there, so.
Why not?
Everybody here, I think, would agree with that.
That's what I'm saying, so if you could give us some options on, some sort of retail, whether, and if you could do the whole scope from no retail to wide open retail, just kind of give us some options like you did with the zoning there, so we can see.
I'll try to,
Just give us some choices.
What I think everyone wants.
There's mixed views on the board, and we want everybody's will express their opinion at that time once we get the choices.
John, is there some way through planning to restrict or eliminate the use of non-rate-paying uses, such as, for example, if BOCES took it over or a school took it over? Is there some way with planning to make sure that it's a ratepayer?
No. It's illegal, actually. Because what are the, I mean, think about what the non-rate paying uses are. Schools, you can't zone out schools, you can't zone out churches.